In 2003, we were treated to The Core, arguably the last gasp of the once mighty disaster movie genre, before it slunk off to sci-fi to de-evolve into Lavantula, whereupon volcanic eruptions in Los Angeles unleash a swarm of gigantic lava-breathing tarantulas. Sorry, I lost my train of thought as to why Lavantula and its equally awesome sequel, To Lava, To Lantula, somehow failed to win every Oscar going and becoming the highest grossing films ever. Oh right! The Core and the destruction of a once mighty, if very, very cheesy genre. Basically, the destruction genre did exactly what it said on the tin. Some pesky event, usually a volcano or asteroid or swarm of something, mostly bad CGI, would threaten the world, lots of things would blow up, a load of extras would compete to see who could die in the most over-the-top way possible, and then a load of cardboard, one-dimensional cutouts would save the day with seconds to spare and then stare off into the distance as the orchestra swells and the audience starts to get to its feet. Like I say, in recent years the genre has gone downhill, as disaster films tend to be expensive, and these days most of the films that tick all the boxes come with a lycra-clad fashion disaster who has absolutely no sense of their innate ridiculousness. Which brings me to Geostorm, an absolute blast from the past, which I half expected to find had been stuck on a shelf for 20 years. But it hasn't. It's been stuck on a shelf since 2016, as it was bumped for the vastly inferior Batman v Superman: Dawn of Migraines. Make no mistake, this is a very big, very, very dumb film. Before going anywhere near the cinema, place your brain in a nice secure environment, preferably surrounded by classical music, reading War and Peace with a nice glass of brandy. I mean, the plot's been recycled from, of all things, the absolutely terrible Avengers film from 1998. Basically, in a bid to stop global warming, all of the nations of the world built a massive net around the Earth that can do stuff to stop extreme weather from killing people. However, one day the network of satellites designed to control the global climate start to attack Earth, and it's a race against the clock to uncover the real threat before a worldwide geostorm wipes out everything and everyone. So if you're flashing back to 2012 and the day after tomorrow, it's pretty much that, but with space scenes. Naturally though, there's only one person who can save the day, the man who designed and built the system, Gerard Butler. Because when you need a scientist, you ask Central Casting to send you Gerard Butler. But for him, I guess this is a recent career highlight. Because for a man who once had the world at his feet following 300, Butler has squandered his talents and my time, starring an almost unwatchable Drock. Anyway, he has to go and shout the satellites back into behaving, and then there's inevitably a conspiracy with a villain on Earth who you'll spot in 5 minutes, and one in space who, when they reveal themselves, engender less a realization that the clues are in front of us the entire film than who the hell were you again? But do bear in mind, this is a film with the line, "You get the car, I'll get the president," before kidnapping said president and driving backward in a huge orange taxi, firing a gun with inch-perfect accuracy. Subtle it is not. But every time you start thinking about a plot hole or six, there's another city getting destroyed, or something else explodes, and you forget all about it. Imagine a film directed by a can of energy drink, and you're halfway there. I loved it. I loved every over-the-top moment, every ridiculous scene or set piece or fight scene. I loved that it was just stupid and fun and full of cardboard characters and seemed to have no idea of irony or plot or world building or sequel baiting. I loved that the only person who seemed to be acting was the girl playing Butler's daughter, who seems far too good to be in this film. I love the fact that this is the film after $15 million was spent on reshoots. What was it like before? I need to see what it was like before. I even love the fact that it thinks in its lovable, lunk-headed way that it has a point about environmentalism. Most importantly though, this is the first film in ages that I could see myself popping on when my mates are around and we've had a few beers and you want something to laugh at. It's the best example of its genre since Armageddon, and one I would love to catch on Saturday evenings when it's endlessly repeated on ITV2. What a shame it's going to bomb at the box office, because there's a lot here to love. It's like a big, dumb, silly orange dog of a film, but alas, it's just an explosion and bad science-filled butterfly that's just too beautiful for this world. It's also a butterfly I'm gonna forget exists in about 3 hours, but that's life. Want my opinion, guys? If nothing else is on and you've had a couple of beers, absolutely check this out. Otherwise, just don't bother. But what did you guys think? And what do you think is the stupidest movie premise you have ever seen make it to the big screen? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, this has been a Dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.